All right, so the live button pop up there.
All right. So now what?
So now you want to go to your channel and grab the chat.
All right. And where the hell is the chat?
So now you want to go to your channel and grab. You want to pause that.
Oh, yeah, that's a freaking delay. Holy cow!
Oh, I told you, it's yeah, definitely disorienting.
And I'm really blurry. Wow. And I'm blurrier on that picture than I am in the Google Hangout box.
It doesn't look that bad. Actually, it looked better in that picture.
Okay.
No. Now you want to. So we shall see. Right now, there's 12 people watching. Delago, welcome.
Oh, okay.
You get your chat up, bud?
All right, participants. Hey, you're not listed as a participant.
I should be. I'm in the chat.
It says Delago and Moose Scrapper.
If you, hold on a second. So you should see me in the chat now. I just posted a comment. Go to the 3 dots and click on that.
3 dots. Click on what? Participants again?
Yeah, on the right-hand side of where I posted.
On the right-hand side of where you posted?
Yeah, in the chat. You see where I just typed in my name?
There it is. All right. Add moderator.
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Beautiful blue wrench, buddy.
Holy crap, Gio's here. Sweet.
Welcome. It's good to see you guys.
All right. So I've got a response in my email. I will check that out, definitely. So are my questions like really, really amateur? Were they like shocking or?
Jackpot Digger says, hello, Mr. Legend Moose.
Well, I'll accept Moose, but Legend, maybe not.
It's good to see you, Jackpot. Phil Delaney, welcome. Lemonhead Penny, it's good to see you. Wow, look at them all come in.
Big stuff going on all of a sudden. Be back. Hey, you don't have to explain that to me, buddy. I know all about big stuff happening in the last minute.
It's all good. We'll be here probably for the next hour.
See that? See that? Delago said, Moose, you may need better lighting in the background. You said it was giving me the halo thing.
It was.
How about that?
He's got a light in the background, but it made him look like he either had a halo or a 10-gallon freaking hat.
I do have a large head, so. All right. All right. So Gio said, no, it's all good. Good. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I will be looking at that email. So for those of you guys who are just joining, we got Gio in the chat here. This guy, you guys need to check out this guy's channel. He is perhaps, although he actually says in his videos that chemistry is not his strong suit. I beg to differ. This guy, he knows what he's talking about. He's a very humble guy, and his videos have really good information, not just about the process, but safety and all this other. I mean, you could spend a day watching his videos and be so much better off having read them. Especially if it's all like gold recovery and stuff like that.
There you go. I just posted a link in the chat for everybody.
Sweet. All right, so we've got, don't forget the like button, y'all, from Stefan and Joanna Crenshaw. Hi, guys. Thank you.
Yes, please smash that like button. This is the Moose Scrapper's first live stream, guys. Let's show him some love. So, Moose, you have 44 people currently in the chat.
Jeez.
Recycle Dude, it's good to see you, bud.
Hey, Scott Watkins. How's it going?
Timmy 900.
Have you ever had practical jokers throw out stuff just to see if you will pick it up? I'm serious. No, I don't think I have. Hey, Recycle Dude. Thanks for coming.
Like button smashed. Gotta love it.
Buffering.
Karen Summers, great to see you.
Oh, hey, yeah. Same here. Remember you from the last chat. I checked out your channel. Some good stuff there. So this is going to be interesting because this is basically people from all over the world, right?
Yes.
So Raffle Scrapper, where are you from? Hey, Josephville.
Thank you, Timmy 900. Appreciate that very much. Good, sir.
All right, so what do we got going now?
Just people greeting. So basically, we'll need to say this several times throughout the live stream, just kind of setting the stage for people know what the live stream is about. You know, Q&A, you know, discussionary type thing. So you guys can ask the Moose Scrapper anything you want, or me, but mostly Moose.
So for Delago, it's 2 a.m. out there. Wow, dude. Thanks for staying up. Jeez.
That's awesome. Seriously. You see that last bit? Said worth it.
Moose, you got me scrapping in my spare time. I got a stockpile of stuff now. Your videos are great and we're lots of help. So thank you, brother. Hey, anytime if anything that I'm putting out there is helpful, that's what matters the most to me. So if you guys are finding it helpful, that's awesome. You have a video on how to test the microwave thing in the microwave when it's taken apart, like the big capacitor in there. No, I don't have a video on how to test that, but Mike the Scrapper does. So if you Google Mike the Scrapper and microwave, you'll find it, and it's a pretty good video on how to discharge that capacitor safely.
One moment. Oh my Lord. I love technology.
Wonder how you're switching like that. That's like part of like what, Google Hangouts or something?
Yeah, that's Google Hangouts doing that.
Have you found a good gold processing person yet from Stringbean? Well, so yes and no. I think in this coming year, thanks to Gio, who's in this chat, and I'm going to put a link to his channel once this whole video is posted. He's going to show me how to use Poor Man's AR. So hopefully I won't have to send much out for gold recovery and refining anymore, which would be kind of nice. But we'll see. It's a learning process. It's one of those things that, you know, I realize how dangerous that stuff is. So I'm not going to just jump into it. I want to really make sure I have a good understanding of not just how to do it, but why it works and all the hazards before I get into it. So have I found a person to refine for me? Maybe. We'll see.
Sweet. Well, there's quite a few people in here that have a fair chunk of subscribers. Wow.
Nice. What is the price you wait for to cash in copper? Well, that brings up another subject. Pardon me if I sniffle and cough a lot. I'm like getting over a cold. Um, hey, Keith Light. So with copper, I think at this point, I am not going to sell it for a while. I don't do a whole lot of scrapping anymore. I do some, but not a whole lot. So copper and aluminum and things like that, I think I'm going to hold on to for a while because I'm trying to figure out how to get a propane furnace so that I can make copper bars just like E-Waste Ben. His videos, another great scrapper. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with. Those videos where he's making copper bars, I could watch those all day. That's so mesmerizing to me. So I'm hoping that at some point in the next few months, I can get one of those propane furnaces, make my own copper bars, and then sell that on eBay, where you can get 5-6 times scrap value because it's in an ingot. So that's my thing with the copper. Holy, hey, Gil, are you keeping up with this?
Yeah, it's starting to get a little fast. We're at 47 and climbing. So let's see, it's changing a bit. 309 here in Quebec. So it's $3.09 a pound in Quebec.
Nice.
Yeah, you just try to find some dude. Geo, there's some supporting going on in the room. Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, Street Tips. Was it Stephen and Joanna Crenshaw? Street Tips is pretty good with gold refining. Yes, he is. He just put out a series of 5 videos of refining or recovering and refining precious metals from his stock pot. It's a few hours of watching, but it's really interesting. And what's really nice is to see another guy, who's like Geo, who's he's got a lot of experience. He's very well set up. He's part of the gold refining forum as well. And even at this point, he's not too full of himself, where he admits that, hey, I'm learning as I'm going with some of this stuff too. And it's great to watch him and hear his thought process and see how he recovers, the gold, the palladium, the platinum group metals, which are very toxic and dangerous, especially when in solution. So it's a really good set of videos that you guys should definitely check out if you're into that.
See, Krog BC says, I wasn't sure if the guy was asking how to discharge a capacitor or to see if it was a good capacitor. You can buy a multimeter that will check capacitance. Jackpot Digger says, you can end up losing money anyway. Scrapyard around here don't want to touch ingots. And a big question from Phil Delaney, is that right about copper bars, 5 times scrap price?
Whoa. Where are we?
So Phil Delaney, to answer your question, the copper bars to a scrapyard is really not going to be worth any more or less because it's in bar form. There are people that online that will buy ingot, copper bars for their own crafts purposes for more than it would typically be for scrap, or at least that's what I believe would happen. Is that right, Moose Grabber?
Yes. You just go onto eBay and type in copper ingot, and the listings there's on the side, there should be a tab where you can select sold items. So you can see all the items that have sold in the last 90 days for copper and ingot. And it'll tell you the price it's sold for. And in the description, it'll say copper bar, 1 pound, $12.90. That's way more than scrap value. That's way more than what any scrapyard will give you. I think E-Waste Ben describes it pretty well. It's kind of like a piece of art. There's a lot of people who like to stack copper, who like to collect it. They think of it as an investment. Regardless, there are people out there who know the price of copper but are still willing to pay for it in a bar form. So plus, there's a lot of work involved. It takes time to smelt it down, to clean it up, to pour the bar. You have to know what you're doing, so there's practice involved. So yeah.
Yeah, and Jackpot Digger's got a valid point. Scrapyards are definitely afraid that they may be getting duped in some way, that the middle may not be real. So they're going to be really reluctant to take them. It's not worth your time and effort just to put them in ingot form just to sell them to a scrapyard. That's for sure. So Joseph Hill's asking how to tell the difference between tin and aluminum.
Between tin and aluminum.
One makes a spark, the other one does not.
Well, see, it depends because there's actual tin, like the element tin, and
Yeah.
what a lot of people refer to as tin, which is actually like light iron.
Right. But if you were to take, like, say, an angle grinder to that, it would make a spark, whereas the aluminum angle iron or what have you would not.
Correct.
That's just one way. I'm sure there's chemical ways to find out too. Let's see. We appreciate your patience, guys, while we catch up with the chat. There's a lot of you here.
Where are you in the chat string there, Gil?
Shoot, I hate it when it shifts like that. Let's see. Good evening, Moose and everyone from Raving Junk Removal Entrepreneur. Randy Wood is asking, are all plug ends made of brass?
Most of them, yeah, nickel plated or just brass.
Yep, I've got a couple of videos of me pulling out the plug ends and putting them in a little bucket to save them because they are brass. Most of them are.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a scratch test to see if there's brass underneath the forks. And of course, you can always just stick a magnet to it too, and if it doesn't stick, you're pretty much good.
Scott Watkins, smart. I'm trying to work out a way to make ingots using solar. If you have a really good big lens, you could melt some of the maybe aluminum and zinc and stuff like that. I think I've seen someone melt brass with a Fresnel lens, but I don't know how hot or how much, how many more metals you can melt besides like lead, aluminum, that kind of stuff.
Jackpot Digger, you might be right. I'm probably confusing tin with stainless steel.
Yeah, tin, the actual element, you're really not going to find a whole lot of that. Nowadays, it's really common, and I'm not quite sure why, but light iron, just junk iron, like people call soup cans tin cans. Well, it's really not tin. It's steel. It's iron. So
Gio said it right. Tin metal is non-magnetic. Tin plated roofing steel is magnetic. So there's different types. Wow. Kind of like stainless steel. Some stainless steels are magnetic. Some others aren't.
yeah.
Yeah. So Moose, is it worth to scrap KitchenAid mixers? I got a pallet of non-working ones at an auction.
Dude, I would take any part that you can off of those and try and sell them on eBay because those things are expensive. I mean, like base models start at like $200. So just like the bowl, any mixing attachments, even parts of the housing. I've not scrapped one. I've not met someone who's thrown one out yet.
E-Cycle Nation, it's good to see you. See, Lemonhead Penny says, would you need a big system? I don't think it's practical. Scott Watkins. Oh, okay. She's talking to somebody else in the chat. Moose Random has a few very informative videos of making your own cheap mini metal foundry. Yes, I watched that video too.
Yeah, I've watched a few of them. He's got like 2 of them, but his foundries don't seem to last very long. They tend to crack up and break down fairly after like 5 or 6 uses.
Recycle Dude agrees with your assessment of that scrap to sell on eBay. Moose, how much do you take to refine gold-plated pins? Matthew Mullins.
How much do I take?
Can you refine or rephrase the question, Matthew, so we could better understand what you're asking?
It sounds like you're asking if I toll refine, which I don't. Really good.
You're going to make money. A little envious of you, Zach.
You've got 100 KitchenAid mixers?
That's a good idea, Christy. Actually, excellent suggestion. So if you have a legitimate question for Moose, yeah, definitely put a bunch of question marks at the end so we can tag it for you. Or, Moose. Chats do get confusing sometimes. We want to thank you all for being here, too. We really do appreciate you being a part of this monumental first live stream of Moose Scrapper.
Sorry if I get a little quiet from time to time. I'm reading, and this is my first one, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to be doing. But, nope, there's another one.
Yeah, Raphael Scrapper is the real deal, too. He does a lot of gold refining. And he gets mushrooms from the woods and eats them.
Did you say he grows weed and he eats mushrooms from the woods?
Yes. Yep. Wild mushrooms.
Hey, my father does that. But they're just the edible kinds. They're not the trippy kind. He also gets, was it chaga? It's like this big mushroom that grows on birch trees.
Oh, the chaga, yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to help you live forever.
I don't know about that. So is ginger root. It's supposed to help with arthritis anyway. He grew. Where did you get that, jackpot digger?
What?
Just this random question. He grows weed? Who said that? Chop the stuff.
Hello, loading. I was going to say hi, but you're still loading. Yep. Dot. Dude, you're supposed to be dancing and playing the piano upside down. Who's supposed to be dancing and playing the piano upside down?
You missed that part.
Yeah. Hey, Big Keg's here. Hey, Big Keg.
Welcome, Big Keg. Good to see you, brother.
Cinnamon is good for arthritis. Yeah. So is turmeric. Arnica, I think.
Mushroom tea. That's interesting.
All right. Ask, can you confirm? Moose, you doing the other live chat?
73 Super Glad. We're not really sure what you mean. Can you rephrase your question or statement?
I was wondering if you'd done complete refining. Is that directed towards me, Matthew Mullins? Because I have done some refining, yeah. Not with aqua regia, though, with hydrochloric acid and bleach. And pretty much only like this stuff that I have right here, which is just, a bunch of gold foils. That's pretty much all that I use the HCl and bleach method for. But the stuff that I got from, and I know you probably can't, you can't see the, but this is what the concentrate is from the IC chips. Gio is going to help me with learning how to recover and refine the gold from that using poor man's AR. So
Nice.
More on that to come.
Stephen and Johanna Crenshaw, with a trained eye and some experience, you can definitely, because I understand your concern right off the bat as far as poisonous, mushrooms versus non-poisonous. But yeah, Raphael Scrapper has been doing it a long time. He knows the difference between them. He can put together quite a nice salad.
Right. And was it Lemonhead Penny? Oh, and Scotch is great for all pain. Certainly is.
Well done. Phil Delaney says, how do you guys process the little socket type connectors from mobile phones? They look gold plated, but I'm a novice on gold recovery, so I'm not sure if they're worth keeping. Moose, your alley, buddy.
How do I process them? I don't. I usually just put them all together and either, sell them as a group of gold-plated pins or gold-plated material, or send them off to a refiner and have them do it. Something like that. And I think Gio can probably back me up on this. The only method that I would know to use for a lot of that stuff is like the AP method, acid and peroxide, or an air bubbler. But it takes like a gallon of acid to digest 2 pounds of base metal or something like that. So the amount of acid required to get all the metal away from those plated pins with the method that I'm familiar with, it's very long. It takes weeks. It's just not really worth it. So for me, I don't really process those yet. However, if I start learning how to use AR more efficient, or at all, not more efficiently, that may change. So again, more to come.
John Duff asks, "Hey Moose, what's the favorite thing you've ever taken apart and why?"
Let's see. I remember there was a washing machine that was one of my favorite things to take apart, because when I took it completely apart, I found an 18-inch, 18-karat gold necklace in it. So that was kind of nice. Other than that, maybe those oscilloscopes before I realized how much they were worth before I took them apart.
Oh man.
Yeah, I have a video on that. That was kind of hilarious. I'm like, oh wow, look at the gold plating on these things. This is great. And then like 2 days later, I'm looking up on eBay like, oh, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have taken that apart. Oh well, it's already soaking in acid. Not much I can do now.
Yep. Can't turn back now. Holy crud.
All right. So I wasn't too far off. We've got 52 in.
No, you're not too far off at all.
All right.
I'm willing to bet that number grows if you continue to do these streams.
What now?
I said I'm willing to bet that number will grow if you continue to do these streams.
Well, let's ask these folks. Is this something, if I were to do this once a month, would you guys tune in? Is this something that you'd be interested in? I mean, I was expecting this to be like, question and answers, kind of like, what we've been doing. So if this is something that you're all interested in, I'd like to do this once a month. Not on a Friday though, because that's when Gil Skills has his live stream. So it'd probably be on a Saturday night. Oh, and Zach Geisler, I've always wondered what that little prying tool used in your early videos. I cannot tell you how many questions I got on that from people. It's hilarious. We have this chain of stores here called Martin's. It's sorry, ADHD. So it's like the store that sells stuff from places that have had fires or have gone out of business. So it's like reclamation store kind of thing. They had this cheap toolkit that had 8 flathead, 8 Phillips, a few socket heads, and this one that little pry bar screwdriver thing in it. Every other piece is gone. I have no idea where they went, but I still have that freaking little pry bar. That's got to be like the most handy tool I've ever had. I paid like $5 for the set, and I mean, I've had it for years. It's great. So that's where I don't even think it had a name brand. I think it just said tools. That was it. So
John Duff says, "Gotta say thanks, Moose. I just made my first gold nugget at 6 grams and 14K, and it's all from stuff I learned from your channel."
Sweet. Congratulations, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. Sorry. Gotta give you time to absorb it.
That's right.
So Randy Wood asks, "What do you do with the light sockets in indoor Christmas lights? Are they considered dirty copper?"
The light sockets on indoor Christmas lights, like the big bulbs. I'm not sure if those are copper or brass, but Christmas lights, I normally just sell them as Christmas lights. Most scrapyards have an actual category for that. It's you get less than like telecom wire grade, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what that would be considered.
Certainly a good question. Yeah, we're pretty much caught up on the chat here.
Ruby, it's really cool. Unfortunately, I'm usually driving. Yeah. Yeah, so John Duff, the guy that tested it for me, couldn't believe it when I told him how I got the gold. Same thing happened to me. There's this place here in South Portland called Maine Gold and Silver. And the first little gold bar that I made, I brought there and had him test it. It was like 22 karat. And he's like, yeah, so where'd you get this? I'm like, I just ripped it out of computers and stuff like that. And he's like, what? So I explained some of the process to him, and it was, it is shocking. A lot of people don't. It's just not a thought to them. People don't realize that most electronics have precious metals in them. They just chuck them because there's not much in one, but when you add it up, you can get a fair bit.
Zach Geisler says, just scrapped out 4 2000 Ford Rangers, made a pretty penny.
Nice.
Yeah, Jackpot Digger says he gets less than shred right now for Christmas lights. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So then just keep them in your shred.
Gio sells his gold to Silver and Elementals Direct in Franklin, Tennessee. I get 90% of spot on gold and 90% of spot on silver.
Nice. Yeah. So pretty much anything that you guys hear Gio say in this chat, remember it, because it's going to be valuable information.
Moose from eCycle Nation asks, did you ever go to the creek and try panning, as it's addicting as scrapping and refining?
Not yet. It's on my freaking bucket list. And here in Maine, there are a lot of rivers and streams that have gold in them. Not a lot, but enough where you could spend a nice day, in the summer, lounging by the riverbed, getting concentrates and then bring it home and pan it out and find a few flakes or something. It's both my brother and I have been wanting to do that for years, and I think next summer is probably going to be the year that I'm going to force it to happen. I've got a what was that?
That was me. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
You'll probably hear it 1 or 2 more times.
What's going on? I didn't touch it. So I think my brother Dave and I are definitely going to make that happen this year. I've already got the gold pans and the little snifter bottle, and all you need to get is a sluice box. That's on the to-do list.
So Delago asks, ever work on anything more art-oriented, or do you care for artsy things at all? Weapon forging, blacksmithing, or scrap metal sculptures, for example?
Well, I mean, I've dabbled in a bit of woodworking, but I can't really take you around my house. But I mean, all the oil paintings on the walls are ones that I made when I was a kid. So yeah, I guess I've always been a little bit into different types of arts. I try and play instruments. I've got a guitar back there somewhere, and I just rebuilt a violin. So I've never done metal sculpture. I'd love to learn how to weld. And I imagine I can probably make some sculptures if I knew how to weld. Blacksmithing, I've not tried that. I've wanted to try that several times. I've tried it, like, pathetically, just to say that I've tried it, using an oxyacetylene torch and some rebar to try and make a blade. It didn't come out too great, but I still tried it. It was fun.
Let's see.
Loading, ... All right. My landfill in Wisconsin wants $35 a TV. I found a place to take it 20 cents a pound. They pay you 20 cents or they charge you 20 cents. So that's the big thing. There are some places, there's very, very few of them, but there are some places that actually will buy those big CRT TVs to recover the lead from the glass.
Thank you for stopping by, Scott. What do you do with the heavy gold-plated boards?
Uh-oh.
From Leona Bird.
What do I do with the heavy gold-plated boards? I try and remove as much off of them as I can. I've got an air chisel that I'll get everything off that board, all the components. If there's a lot of solder, I'll try and like soak it in HCl for a little while to get the solder off, and then chuck it right in the AP unless there's a solder mask on it.
Ooh, from cell tower sites.
What?
It's just adding to the previous statement there. Gold-plated boards from cell tower sites.
Nice.
Those are telecom boards, are they not?
Message retracted? What's that mean?
It means that somebody had said something and decided to delete the message.
Oh. I use a gold pen to pin up my gold bonding wires from chip material. Let me know if you want to see a video of it. Oh, Geo, I'd love to see a video of it. Absolutely. Especially with the bonding wires, because one of the big problems that I'm having with this is there's still a lot of the little copper wires in there that when I tried panning, I have a gold pen and I tried it myself, but those little copper wires kept working their way up, so it was practically impossible for me to get it out. So yeah, I'd love to see you make a video on that. Chipper Monkey, Tassie is on my bucket list. I'll definitely add gold panning to the itinerary.
So B Nor Gaming says, congrats on your first stream.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining.
We appreciate you all being here tonight. We do, we do.
All right, well, good night, Scott Watkins. Oh, wow, I'm way behind.
Yeah. So for those of you that are just come into the chat, this is the Blue Scrapper's first live stream. Yay! And it's just going to be basically a Q&A night, just to talk and shoot the breeze and answer a few questions here and there. And wanted to get back in touch with you guys to let you know Blue Scrapper's still alive.
Zach Geisler. It's good to make friends with electricians. I get all their scrap and old wire. Work for plumbers too. You know, the funny thing that there's actually some sayings about people in Maine, how it's like in our blood to be very thrifty. So it's very hard to find electricians and plumbers here that don't save their own stuff and bring it to the scrapyard.
Like plumbers and people like that. It's a prerequisite to be a scrapper.
Yeah, pretty much.
So loading ... asks, what is your most favorite thing to scrap?
Computers. I mean, honestly, as far as, I mean, I don't do a whole lot of like going to the scrapyard metal scrapping, just because of my schedule and everything else that I've got going on. I love taking down computers because I really am intrigued by the gold recovery process. I know I'm not going to get rich doing it, but the other thing that I like about computers is that there's usually a lot of things in there that I can turn around and sell on eBay. Like if I pick up a computer, I know right away I'm going to make at least $6 off it by selling the power supply, at least. And then there's all sorts of other little things in there, the drives and etc. I used to really enjoy scrapping air conditioners. I used to have a guy that would drain them for me. He was an HVAC person, but that dried up. So that was a really nice source of money there. But that, I'm not gonna crack them open and just let that crap out into the air.
No, that makes sense.
Microwaves are nice. Those are another thing that they have a lot of sellable parts. The glass table in there and all the other stuff. Even if it's decent shape, you wash it up, you can sell them on eBay. You get that big transformer and the nice chunk of copper that you can make a copper bar out of for free if you watch E-Ways Ben.
Phil Delaney says, we all love the Moose.
Oh, thank you. Love you guys too.
Stuart Henderson says, hey, Moose, great to see you back in full swing. You've been missed. I couldn't agree more, Stuart Henderson.
E-Cycle Nation likes servers and oscilloscopes. You know, I really do like oscilloscopes as well. I've only ever found them once.
Oh, this is a good question from Lincoln DMZ. Is there much gold in RAM chips? Not talking about the fingers.
Well, I'll tell you soon enough. As soon as this is recovered, this is what's left of 2 pounds of RAM IC chips. So just the RAM stick. This is all the gold foils from 2 pounds of RAM, the gold fingers. And this is after incinerating the IC chips that are on the RAM. So once this is recovered, I'll let you know how much is in there. But again, I mean, what was the full question again?
The full question was, I got to find it again. Sorry, hold on.
Is there much gold in RAM chips? Not talking about the fingers. Yeah, I would say that's one of the better sources of gold. I mean, it's easily accessible, compared to the rest of the motherboard. A lot less required to get it out. Like if you have, I mean, a good way to answer that is go to places like boardsort.com, where they list the price of the scrap, what they paid for it, and that basically tells you that if they're paying you $40 a pound for RAM, or wait, no, it's not $40 a pound. It's like $10 a pound for RAM, something like that. It's been a while. But the price that they're offering, that's they're telling you that has more gold than like motherboards, which is more around like $2 a pound, $3 a pound, depending on the year, the size of the processor slot, etc.
Wow. Jackpot Digger says, I just remember taking apart a thief detector, the kind of barrier that are at the exit of stores. Almost didn't pick them. Had like 150 pounds of clean copper in it. Wow.
Jeez. Oh, that's right, because they have all those little like stickers that have the little copper coil in them, the anti-theft devices, and those big magnets. Like, I don't know. Good job.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, John Duff. Moose, the silver contacts from AC compressors, can those be melted down as is, or do they need to be processed? Never, ever, ever melt down silver contacts from anything, all right? Because they can contain cadmium, which is really freaking toxic. So if you're interested in processing the silver from that, you're going to want to have a chemical way of refining it first.
Good to know. If you get enough silver buttons, send them to a refiner. You can do that too.
Just make sure it's a trusted refiner.
Yeah. Yeah. Ukrainian One says, hey, Moose Scrapper, how do you neutralize your used AP solution once you're done? And what do you tell the waste treatment plant when you bring it to them?
Well, I slowly add baking soda to it until it stops bubbling. And I mean slowly, because it's going to react quite a bit. So once it stops reacting, I put it back in the muriatic acid jugs that I started using it from. Most towns have like a transfer station or a dump where they can accept chemicals like that. I know the one here in Westbrook, they accept it 1 day a month. And I mean, you just tell them what it is. I mean, it's used, copper chloride or used AP solution. I mean, they really honestly don't care if you just mark acid on it or neutralized acid. they'll pretty much take care of it.
CT Colburn says, do you pick up computers? Do you run ads or have a drop-off box?
When I first started, I did run a lot of ads. I used a lot of things like Craigslist, Uncle Henry's, Free Cycle is a great Yahoo group in most towns. And I got a lot of computers that way. But after the first 2 or 3 years, I was getting enough, repeat business from businesses that I pulled the ads down. And for my small garage space that I had, that's all I needed. I didn't need to place any more ads. But if it's something that you really want to keep going, you can certainly set up drop boxes. A lot of people will actually contact local churches and organize like a drop-off day. Drop off a computer at your local church, and then we'll give your church a small percentage of whatever's recovered. We'll pay them a small amount of money for them. You can do that at schools. You can do that all kinds of different places. So I see signs for that around here in southern Maine. So
Recycle Dude asks, what's the craziest thing you found inside an item when you opened it? I found a spider as big as the computer case. I don't like spiders.
Then, dude, right behind you. It's the craziest thing I found. Like in something. I think I'd have to say a 50 caliber shell in a vacuum bag.
It was shell?
Yeah, it was a dummy round, but it still had the bullet on the top, so it looked like a 50 cal shell. And I'm like, okay, how did it get in the vacuum? I don't know how it got in there, but it was in there. And that was like one of the first vacuums that I ripped open. I was like, nope, never doing that again.
John Duff asks, who do you pay? Do you pay anything for the computers you get?
No, I never pay for scrap. Never. There's a lot of people that do that, and if you can make money by still paying for it, great. If you've worked out a system to do that, fine. For me, there's just enough free stuff out there where I don't think that you need to buy it.
I would agree with that.
There's a lot of people who especially who are in the gold refining thing. They'll find auctions or places that are getting rid of pallets of old computers. If that's your thing, sure, check it out. But make sure you understand how much you're going to get from what you're buying versus what you're paying, because you want to make sure you're not losing any money. I mean, that's pretty much the point of all this, right? I mean, making some money, saving the environment.
You could spend a little money to make a lot of money, but you don't want to spend money to make money and end up with nothing.
Do you metal detect? Oh, I like this group. Yeah, actually, I do. I did. I haven't in a little while. Actually, I haven't gone metal detecting since I broke my leg. But before that, I got really into it. I found a lot of really interesting things. I've actually... one of the cooler things that I found, for me anyway, is this 1800s crotal. It's basically a brass bell that they hung on the reins of horses for carriages and sleighs and stuff like that. And it still has the original pebble in it. They used to put a rock in there. So I found this while metal detecting in Sanford. So yes, I used to. I enjoyed it. It was nice to get out there. The ticks are horrible, but it was fun. And my sister, so my sister and her kids are living with me for a while. When she moved in, she gave me apparently she had 2 Mine Lab metal detectors, really nice ones. So they're here. She gave one to me, and we haven't used them yet, unfortunately. But we're going to have to take them for a spin pretty soon. Well, not this year. Ground's getting ready to freeze, but...
Right? It snowed up here the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Thick, but oh,
Not a fan of the snow. All right. Really hard to make money buying e-waste auctions here. It is. Hooray, Moose.
ooh, I get a fine 1854 silver seated Liberty quarter. Wow,
Nice.
that is nice.
You know, one thing that I do like to do, so I work in an outpatient mental health clinic, and right down the street, there's this little like thrift store, kind of like a Goodwill. And at least once a week, I try and get down there to like sift through all the silverware that people donate and bring in. I found some pretty nice pieces of sterling silver in there, and you know, I'll be honest with the cashier, be like, you know, you've got this marked at 10 cents, and it's probably worth a little bit more because it's marked sterling.
Yeah.
Give me the dime. So that's always fun.
Oh, Raffle Scrapper is actually and the Loose Scrapper. Mostly the Loose Scrapper.
Yeah, what now? What?
35.25.
Okay, big keg. All right, that's not funny. 26 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I
Big time.
don't know that weather.
I've always wanted to go to Australia.
Why is Australia so like? They don't like people being there very long. They like don't want people to like immigrate in.
Good question, John. Any thoughts on silver recovery from keyboard mylars?
Yeah, it's a lot of work for not much. The last number that I saw was it takes 24 mylars to get 1 gram of gold. 1 gram of silver. Sorry. It requires the use of nitric acid, which is expensive. So if you have a whole bunch, go for it if you got the time. But yeah, I couldn't see myself doing that. I mean, I collect them. I've got a box in my garage, you know, that's like maybe a good 12 inches deep of just keyboard mylars, just sitting there collecting dust.
Do you have anybody that buys them off of you, or?
I went on the gold refining forum a couple of years ago, and there was a guy there who said that he would do like a 50-50. Would refine them, keep half the silver, and then, you know, send the other half to me. But we kind of lost communication there, and I just haven't followed back up with it.
Wow, Rafal. Last time I found one keyboard that had a mylar that's totally black.
All right, well, maybe you can put a good word in for me there, Big Keg. Because Australia is known for some pretty damn big gold nuggets.
Ooh, yeah, I'm there. I'm game.
Yeah.
Let's go check it out.
Ever think about getting a license to extract Freon? Can sell on eBay. Getting my son to. I didn't know there was such a thing. Oh, Geo, there's a much simpler way to process mylars. Are you talking about burning them?
Redneck Stacker says, "Hey Moose, love your YouTube vids."
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
E-Cycle Nation, thank you so much for coming out today. We really do appreciate it, especially for Moose Scrapper's first live stream. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I know, right? Scrap and Pallet Man, we got quite the group here together.
Treating colloidal gold. Sodium hydroxide? Is that lye? Whoa! What the heck was that?
You just got your first super chat, buddy. Somebody just donated $10 to you.
Oh, you're kidding me. Wow, thank you.
No, CT Colburn, thank you so much for your donation. It was very much appreciated.
Yeah, big time. Oh, we got a lot of awesome there.
Brian Edney asks, where are you from? I'm live. I'm assuming that he means I live in Melbourne, Australia. See you, mate. We live in Maine.
Yes.
Mr. Slowski, hi. No loading, ... You rock. Yeah. You're right, Jackpot. I'd rather have 70% of something than no percent of something, though. That's my philosophy. I'm sure you would agree.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Annabelle. Thank you. What does it think? He moves forward a lot. Hey.
Did you see what Gio just wrote?
What Gio?
A stainless steel pot with lye and water. The lye dissolves the glue, and the silver stays in the metal powder, or stays in metal powder.
Really? See, this is why I love this guy. See, I've never actually gotten X-ray films before, and I'd love to, I mean, do they have a lot of silver in them? I mean, that's one of the things that you'll see a lot of companies out there that advertise they buy them.
Anna Hill says, just wanted to say thanks. Thank Moose Scrapper. I've learned a lot from you.
Thank you, Anna. I appreciate it. I mean, when I first set out putting these videos out, it was just, out of kind of my frustration of trying to find a video that would have all the information on one particular thing I was taking apart at a time and couldn't find it. So, this is my humble, feeble attempt at trying to make those videos. So if this is helping you out, I'm that makes me happy. So thank you for watching.
Raffle Scrapper, you're right. Big Keg is an expert with Aussie slang.
You gotta check out his videos. You guys have to go to Big Keg's channel and check out his video series on how to speak Australian.
Awesome.
Like Australian slang. It's hilarious.
He is the Australian Morgan Freeman. He does a really good job. And he's pretty cool. He broke his thong the other day. Had to get it replaced. Huh?
Who broke their thumb?
Big Keg. He broke his thong.
His thong?
Yep, and he had to get it replaced. In Australia, thongs are flip-flop.
Yeah. Because he was part of that live chat last time, so I know what he looks like, and that and a thong.
Sorry to paint the mental image.
I like it.
Is lye safe to use?
Where we go. All right. So there's Gio. Laser Steve says there's a 0.5 gram of silver and 1 sheet of mylar. Is lye safe to use? Lye is very caustic. It's the opposite of acid. So you can still burn your skin with it. So it is dangerous. You want to make sure that you have plenty of water, like clean water around. So if you get some on you, you can quickly get it in the water and dilute it as fast as possible. But lye, it's also very common to find like anywhere. It's a drain cleaner, which is kind of funny if you think about it. A lot of the chemicals that you can use for gold recovery are drain cleaners. You can get lye, sulfuric acid.
John Duff, thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate your really engaging questions.
Who's leaving? Oh, yeah. Yeah, thanks, John. Hope to see you again on the next one. Harvesting magnets. Yes, magnets are, I love those things. I've always got one close by.
Oh, I've got like a softball size of, about the size of a softball, just the neodymium magnets stuck together. Jackpot Digger says, do you guys realize that right now we are pretty much covering the whole globe?
Sweet.
He's referring to the chat. That is pretty cool.
So, John, oh, you're taking off? All right. Well, good night. Thanks for coming out. Maybe someday I'll include a picture in one of my videos of what I built for my neighbor. He's got a beer bottle cap opener in his garage, which is in the neighborhood, like the neighborhood bar. Is where I go to hang out. And we took a bunch of the neodymium magnets and routed out the back of a board and glued them in. So when you pop the cap off the bottle, the cap stops on the board and just sticks. So it's like this weird, like, arm of bottle caps growing off the wood, which is kind of freaky. So people walking by are like, what the heck is going on there? All right.
Rapid Crash just entered the chat. Welcome. It's been a steady 40 to 50 in here. Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right. You can get a lot of chemicals from your surrounding plant. All right. So this is cool because always learning. That's the thing that I like. Always learning with this stuff.
Yeah. Never ends.
I know what I'm going to do with that big box of Mylars now. Get some lye. There we go. Oh, Gio, if you're still on, is it like the solder mask? Does the water lye solution have to be hot, like boiling or almost boiling? So, like when you're taking off a solder mask, you have to heat it up. Well, thank you, Big Tag. Excellent for a stream. Will become more popular. That would be cool.
Hello, Canoe Moon. Welcome. Say that 5 times fast.
Yes, boiling. All right. Hi, Scrap and Sea Rash. Wow. Okay. Scrap and Crash or Sea Rash?
Delago asks how the leg is, Moose. Hope you're feeling better.
The leg is good. As good as it's going to get. Put it that way. It's one of those things where being a guy my size and my age, some arthritis has crept in there. So if I'm on my feet for more than a few hours and not moving around much, like standing still is the worst. It'll get a little messed up for a day or so, but other than that, as long as I avoid that, it's fine. Thanks for asking.
Big cake.
But
so your Ukrainian one says, how pure would the gold recovered from crushed quartz veins in granite be? Oh, that's a good question.
That should be pretty darn close to 24 karat, I imagine. MBM LLC, Mount Baker Mining. They've got a bunch of videos on this guy makes like rock crushers and shaker tables and stuff like that. He does a lot of great work. He's even brought some out to a lot of these poorer countries in Africa that still use mercury to recover gold when they're mining it, which is like horrible. So he's got videos where he does a lot of like rock crushing, and there might be some information on there as far as like the purity of the gold when it comes out. But I'm sorry, ex-wife. Sorry. But he would be a good person to ask that. Native gold is never pure. Depends on where it comes from. Oh, there you go. But it's got to be pretty close, though, right?
James Robert, someone told me gold can be recovered from water using electrolysis.
Well, there's actually, pardon my language, but a buttload of gold floating in the ocean, which I'm not sure if they need electrolysis to recover it, but it's one of those weird little tidbits that I picked up that, California gold is the most pure in the U.S. All right. It's more pure than Alaska gold or Maine gold? Come on. Maine gold's got the best. We got the best gold here. Come on.
Yeah.
In Springs, we got the best water.
Us Mainers have the best everything. Or so we like to think. Oh, I got to turn on the back warmer again.
Uh-oh. There we go.
I don't like it. It times out. Like it auto shuts off as like a safety feature. I start getting little spasms again.
All right. So quick question. So all of you guys who are in this chat right now, quick question for you. How many of you guys have actually looked at the poll that I put up on the community section? I'm curious as to how many of you folks this is reaching. It was a poll about the next few videos, like choosing one out of three. JBO, not everything is bigger in Texas. Thanks to Lago. You saw it, you voted, all right?
Nice.
All right. Okay.
Well, since you're in here, you could always go over to the Moose Scrappers channel. And on the community tab, you'll find that right on the community tab. You'll see the poll right there.
So is that one of those things where they had to have clicked the bell in order to get a notification?
Yes.
Or to hopefully get a notification because YouTube is great at sending out those notifications?
It's been a coin flip lately.
Right. A weighted one-side coin flip?
Pretty much.
Oh, hey, jackpot ticker, no problem. I was just curious. So, that's what's. Yep. All right.
Hold on just a moment. I can get that for you.
What's that? What?
Someone in the chat's asking for a link to your channel.
Oh, okay.
And I shall deliver it.
All right. Can we share Geo's Facebook group? Absolutely. Geo, do you have, if you want, you should be able to copy and paste the link right here in the chat?
No, YouTube doesn't allow you to do that unless you're a mod.
All right. Tell you what, Geo.
If you're a mod.
Once this video is like posted, like after the live session is done, I'll put a link to it in the comment section. Because that's something that I'm sure everyone should probably check out. All right. James Roberts taking off. All right, James, you're back. All right, so there was a few things that I want to mention. Another question I have for you guys. So one of the things that I was thinking of doing, it was I may not respond to every comment and question that I get on my YouTube, but I do read them. So one person asked if I would ever consider doing unboxing videos. I'm not really sure what that is, but if that's something you want to fill me in on, I'm fine with that. Depends on what we're unboxing. But, something else I wanted to mention, while I was researching some more like precious metal refining stuff, I noticed something that, most people, when they think of, valuable precious metals like gold, platinum, palladium, well, ruthenium is worth more than all of them. And that stuff can be found in electronics as well. Not a whole lot, but it can be found in there. So that's something that I'm definitely going to be doing more research on, and going to probably put out a video with some information on it. Certainly not recovery and refining of it, because it's a platinum group metal, which again most likely is going to require nitric acid, and platinum metals when in solution are extremely toxic. So, of course that makes me a little nervous, but that's some other stuff that's going to be in the works. Darren Eckelman, Moose. Hey, Darren.
Did you see what Recycle Dude said?
Where?
You may not have seen it yet. Says if someone sends you something, you unbox it live on video.
If someone sends you something, you unbox it. So, like, someone sends me like a Walkman to scrap or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's what he's asking.
All right.
Darren asks, have you ever used vinegar for gold separation instead of nitric acid?
Well, I thought it was used instead of AP. I've seen a few videos of it, and the research that I've done is that, yeah, it works, but you're still left with a very toxic solution that now contains nickel. So, I mean, granted, AP still has nickel, I guess, but I don't know. I think my concern would be that people would think that because it's vinegar, it's not harmful. The product afterward is not harmful either. So that kind of stuff I tend to like stay away from, because people, I mean, you really need to realize that this stuff is dangerous. Geo, don't unbox a plain brown wrapper. Oh, I almost just
that
said
is very wise.
Oh, there we go. Geo, vinegar and salt, not very efficient or any safer. There you go. The poll should be in your subscription box. Don't always show up on your homepage. All right. Fan mail or product reviews is what unboxing is about. Oh, okay. Well, I've done a couple of product reviews before, mostly wire strippers. TNT Tooling was really good about having me try it. If I liked it, then make a video and then give me a bunch to give to subscribers, which I've done a little bit over the years. I even gave some to Bob. Those were TNT ones, right?
Yes.
And
there was another one you gave me too. I can't remember the name of the company, but
RBF Industries, I think.
Yes, that's what it was.
So that was a pretty good one as well. So yeah, I don't mind doing that. I'm not going to lie about it. If it sucks, I'm going to say it sucks. Sorry. I don't want someone to buy something just because they see it on my video.
This tequila I'm drinking is dangerous.
That's why you need to switch to Scotch.
Yep. Or rum, brother.
There you go.
So, Moose, do you ever sell parts from scrap on eBay, or do you just scrap everything you get?
Oh,
Aaron Eckelman.
Yeah, that's selling stuff on eBay is like my favorite thing when scrapping. I mean, scrap is the lowest value of any item. All right. I've made so much more money selling things and parts of things on eBay than I have, selling the scrap metal. So a good example, my brother had a washing machine, one of those front-loading Bosch, really expensive washing machines that the front seal kept messing up and the pump went. So he decided to get another one. I think I made like $400 on the parts that still worked. Like hinges and doors and the instrument panel and just all these strange little parts. There's so many places online where all you got to do is look at the, like most appliances or like anything, like a lawnmower. You take a lawnmower, what brand it is. It's usually written on it. And you can find part numbers on just about everything on it. So you take the gas tank off, you can sell that for 10 to 20 bucks. You take, the pull cord off, you can sell that. I mean, there's all kinds of parts that you can just pull off and sell that still work, of course. So way more money than just scrapping. A little bit more work, but definitely worth it.
So loading ... I heard several would jump up. Do you think this is true?
I mean, this is what precious metals do. I mean, precious metals have been slowly, I don't know about jumping up. I mean, silver has been kind of volatile. I've seen it get as high as it's been over 20 bucks an ounce. I don't know what it's at today, but it goes up and down. It fluctuates, but in the long term, it will consistently go up. So, if you're one of those people who wants to stack it, who wants to collect it and save it, go right ahead. If you're looking to buy it now, I mean, I'm not an investor. I don't really follow the markets and stuff. But my uneducated opinion, if it's under $14 an ounce, buy it. But don't take my word for it. That's just, I'm an idiot. Just like I used to say in all of my first videos, don't take what I say from, for anything, because I'm a moron.
Delago says, whoa, can't send super chats in my region. Okay, YouTube, I see how it is. First off, thank you for the thought.
Right, thank you.
And secondly, it's not necessary. Well, I can't speak for Moose. I retract that statement. So Recycler says, agreed, eBay will always bring more money. Scrap only if it's broke or can't sell. eBay should be checked first. Yes, I agree.
Which is, one of the videos I'm going to be coming out with. I mean, it's actually already done. I'm just waiting to post it. That scrap haul that I had last time, that last video that I put out, I went through it, and there are some things that I kept for me to use and some things that I kept for posting on eBay. And when that video comes out, I think a lot of you are going to be surprised at how much money I got off of something as weird as a box of old antique doorknobs. I mean, you'll be surprised when you see it. But yeah, it's definitely worth taking the time. And and as the more you do it, the more you learn, kind of like what to look for. And if you're one of those people who likes to constantly learn new things, it's just fun,
Darren Eckelman, we really appreciate these thought-provoking questions. Moose, do you get any more money selling your circuit board scrap by sending it into recyclers online, or can you make more or less headaches selling them on eBay? I know it was a recent sore subject.
So,
okay. Wow. Good morning, Japan. Wow.
Wow. All the way on the other side of the ocean. Hi there. So that question, no matter what, Darren, you're going to make more money for it on eBay for your e-waste scrap. My dilemma is kind of like a moral one, because I think a lot of people on eBay buy stuff and they don't know the value of what they're buying. So I'll see a lot of 10 sets of trimmed fingers, just 10 individual little strips. I mean, tiny amount of gold from that, but it'll sell for 10, 15 bucks. Way more than what it's worth. So yeah, there are people out there who will buy this scrap but they don't really know the value, and they'll end up paying way more than it's worth. So yes, you will make more money. I mean, personally, when I sell stuff like that on eBay, I usually put a buy it now price at a price that I think is fair, and which is always more than what the refiners are going to give me, but not taking advantage of a seller. And by doing that, my items usually sell really quick, which I like. I can get it in and out fast. Sorry, do I talk too much?
Not in my book.
Bear Chef, eBay means people interaction. People suck. Some of them do. Some of them do. There are a lot of good people out there, but there's one of the things that I do is I've got a doctor that I work with who collects antique tuners, stereo equipment, and he'll buy like 5 of one very rare tuner, take them apart and make one perfect unit, and have me sell the rest. So I mean, these units are $2,000 to $6,000 units, and the people that get them, oh my word, they're so hypercritical about any tiny little scratch, or I mean, if you don't describe that thing to an absolute T, they complain, they return it, and you end up, you get stuck paying for the shipping. So yeah, some people are not nice.
Big laptop screen on eBay. Been a month. Asked for feedback and told I haven't tried it. Told his parts are repaired. Yeah.
Oh, you got 3 ounces of water from deplating? 3 ounces of water. 3 ounces of silver. Very nice. Very nice.
That's cool.
And that whole thing was just on a lark. That was like, hey, I wonder if I can do this. Click, click, click. Hey, it works. Like, break out the camera. All right, so James Robert bought a 1780 Austrian Thaler overseas in 1990 for $35. Now it would bring around $150. What's a Thaler?
It's a good question.
It's a good investment. Apparently.
Could be. Now I gotta look it up.
Yeah, my computer is kind of old and slow. If I open another window, I might lose everything.
It's a coin.
Oh.
Yep, yep, yep.
James Robert, eBay has been good to me also. Yeah. That's one of those things that I think was a big part of the evolution of my channel and my scrapping habits. Was starting off, just trying to get money because my wife at the time had stopped working. So having 2 kids, one with special needs, and needed the income. So I just started scrapping, and then started making the videos, and then people started, of course, you get those people who are commenting, "Oh, you should have sold that on eBay. You would have made so much more money." And they're like, yeah, whatever. And then after a few of them, you're like, "Oh, okay, well, how much are they going for on eBay?" I'm like, "Oh, all right, yeah, I'm gonna start selling those on eBay now." So.
See, loading ... says e-waste. I would assume they're referring to e-waste. Ben had a great video today. Good job scrapping. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that guy's channel.
Bear Chef says, would you recommend starting a YouTube channel if you don't want people interaction? I'm going to say no.
Well, there are some people who have channels that you can actually toggle the comments off. So,
Well, true. I mean, I suppose it depends on what you want to do.
right.
You know, truthfully, but a big part of your growth is interacting with the YouTube community.
Right.
You need exposure so that your channel will grow.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I mean, try it, see what happens.
Right.
What's it going to hurt? Moose, get some WD-40 for that chair.
It's actually not the chair. That's my it's my corner unit that's built into the wall. The trim board on the outside is a little loose right now.
My chair squeaks too. Let's see, can you guys hear that?
My chair doesn't make any noise. It's the desk. All right. I've enjoyed your vids, Moose, because you're such a nice guy to learn from. Even I don't scrap. Well, thanks, SMGM. I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Yes, Gio, you do need to make some new content. And Gio, the thing that I love about this guy, or one of the things anyway, is that his channel is so not about he's not about making money with the channel. He's not about, you know, advertising or doing any of that stuff. He doesn't really care how many subscribers he has. You know, it's just he's there to put good information out amongst the sea of idiots who, like me, who have crap that's maybe not completely or videos that don't complete the process, or that there's something missing, but his videos are really thorough. And you know, he's one of those guys that, you know, he talks through the whole thing. So you know what's going on, you know what he's doing, you know why he's doing it. Yeah. So really great channel.
E-Way Spin is very informative, but long vids. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got some long vids. You know, being in the position I'm in, I work at home. So I get to watch YouTube videos and whatnot while I work. So passes the time quite nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Real men have squeaks. CT Colburn, I like the way you think. Your Recycle Dude says, my Bobness squawk.
Like Bobness squawk?
Maybe he meant to say bones.
His bones squeak?
Bones squeak.
Let's see, hiding a parrot in there somewhere? Squawk. I don't see any bits from Gio in ages. The last one I see from him, I look like a kid watching cartoon. Yeah, it is. It's captivating. I mean, this guy does stuff in like bulk, so it's cool to watch. Ken Nance is here. All right, I have 2 special needs kids and everything I do for them, so you know. Latest trade up, was proud of that one. So funny thing, all right. So that poll that I just put on my channel about, you know, the 3 videos to come up with, the one that everyone seems to be wanting for was inspired by Ken Nance. He sent me a message through Messenger about this trade that he did, which was freaking amazing. And it, you know, got the gears turning. And it's like, you know, that's something that, you know, a lot of people can do, a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't do it because they don't know anything about it. So, you know, in the next video that's coming out, that everyone, and Ken, just so that you know, they're all voting for your video. It's going to be about, you know, swapping, trading, cashing up for money or for what you need. Tom Federick? Tom checking in from New Jersey. Hey, Jersey.
Good to see you, Tom.
Gio says, raffle scrapper, kid watching a cartoon. Yeah, because he's like glued in front of his computer watching your video. On his stomach with his hands like this. Mouth wide open, bowl of cereal in front of him. You know, just like a kid on Saturday morning. You remember? Or am you guys too young for that?
Not me. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, anything you want to ask, definitely feel free to throw it in the chat.
Yep. Because we've got some good people in the chat themselves.
Yeah, we certainly do. My gosh. Hey, J-Bo. So Bear Chef asks, what wire stripper would you recommend? I have two 55-gallon drums full of random insulated is it corrugated of different sizes?
That's a lot of freaking wire.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, my buddy Ken, he's working on a wire stripper. It's basically one of those wire strippers that strips the insulation off by compression. It's like two rollers. They just slide the wire in, and whoop, the wire comes out, and the insulation shreds off. There are some. All right, sorry. It's that cold. Getting rid of it. So as far as the wire strippers go, I've tried out at least a dozen different wire strippers, and the thing that I've noticed about all of them is that they all seem to work pretty good. The problem is, or the trick, I should say, is getting comfortable and used to whichever one you have. So the ones that I use, I've got two from TNT Tooling, which is out of Canada. And you can find models of them on eBay for fairly cheap, where it's like a metal, it's an aluminum block that has different sized holes with little blades that drop in, and you can tighten up and adjust the depths. You stick it in your vise, and you can just yank the wire right through it. So once you get good at using that, you can be stripping wire really fast. They also have ones that are powered by a cordless drill. That one, it's faster, but it's harder to dial in, at least for me anyway. So that's, and if it's really big wire, if you've got a vise and a utility knife, there's always that. You just put one in the vise, stretch it tight, and just run your utility knife up along. And oh, I didn't do it.
Nope, that was me. It'll probably happen again.
That's right. Yeah. So that's yeah. Unless Ken comes up with this wire stripper, that he can put out there. I'm plugging it for you. All right. I'm at work watching y'all. Nice, J-Bo.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, and Gio, you've got more than a few diehard fans there, bud. Some of us didn't have a TV. Aw, sorry about that, Big Keg. What was the hardest thing to scrap? The hardest thing I ever scrapped was an electric organ. Yep, that thing was a freaking beast, and it wasn't really worth scrapping. It was worth the parts. I had a lot of those old glass vacuum tubes in it. I sold those on eBay for a couple $100, but there was so much wood left over and just all kinds of other junk that I had to get rid of. It was a real pain. So hardest thing I ever scrapped was a Hammond organ. I even remember the name brand. I2 tree. Oops.
I used to tie, let's see, no pressure. I used to tie big wire between two trees and use a draw knife.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. Seriously. Strip that wire.
Geo, for any scrapper, I did a couple large lots of MLCCs and learned the hard way the magnetic ones are not worth collecting. Holy crap. These things are so freaking tiny. Couple large lots, I can't imagine. And aren't they like, oh no, they're not all magnetic because they're ceramic, silver, and palladium, I think, or something. Wow. Need an easy wire stripper, easy and cheap. Well, utility knife and something to tie it to, or tie the wire to.
Lincoln DMZ tried a peeler. Peeler nice.
Are too hard to get. Like the vacuum tubes, SMGM. I'm talking about the vacuum tubes from the organ. I don't know. They're hard to get. I don't know. They really make much of them anymore. But when you do find them, you can find them in old guitar amps, and a lot of the older, like really old electronics, the big bulky stuff. There usually is a good bit of value to them, and people will buy them even if they're not sure if it's working or not. You know, some of them they're willing to take the risk.
It's interesting. I must have missed that video, Jackpot Digger. Big Keg did a video on a potato peeler. Seemed working good. I'll have to check that out.
Mm-hmm. Look for table pass in the metal canister type. They'll sell for $60 a pound. They're not found in computer boards, but high-end electronics. So, Geo, not the little like yellow or orange boxes. I mean, those are tantalum capacitors as well, right? But the metal one's $60 a pound. Yeah, tantalum is expensive.
Gerald Wilkie asks, how can I tell if white wire is nickel-coated copper or some other material?
Scratch it. Yep, scratch it. Get a file or a piece of sandpaper and rub it down. If it's like braided wire, just scratch it. You might want to take like a magnifying glass or something. If you see that rosy copper color underneath, then it's plated. If not, then it's probably aluminum or something else. What exactly is a Tupperware wire stripper?
Yeah, I think that's the second time you mentioned it. The first time I thought you were joking around, but now I'm interested. I'm going to have to Google it.
Ronco, nice. So just set it and forget it. All right, Delago. Well, thanks for joining us. Especially appreciate it since it's so friggin' late over there. So thanks for coming by. Hope to see you on the next one.
Thanks for coming. Oh, it's his title.
What?
It's the title of Big Keg's video.
What, potato peeler?
No. What he said before. Getting tired. Tupperware wire stripper. I'm going to have to check it out. Big Keg.
Jabo, I'm finding most motors are not copper. Yeah, especially like, washing machine motors, I think. The newer stuff, they're using a lot of aluminum wire, which is Ryan Sharpie. Hey, man, how's it going?
Awesome.
But, I mean, and the weird part is, I mean, depending on your scrapyard, most of the larger motors that have the aluminum wire in it, the casing of the engine or the motor, is often cast aluminum as well, or cast aluminum versus whatever type of aluminum is in the wire. So you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Because the aluminum value is almost the same as an electric motor, because most scrapyards, if you have like a box of motors, they're not going to check each one to see if it's copper wire on the inside of it.
Big Keg, got some good thumbnails here, brother. If anybody hasn't checked out Big Cake's channel, should check it out. It's awesome. Tupperware wire stripper. That looks almost like a cheese grater. There's the video where his thumb broke.
So population parallax, Moose. Would you say depopping motherboards is worth doing? I see a lot of people doing it for the ICs, BGAs, etc., but they're worth $1.50 to $2.50 each at board sort. Am I missing something? The only thing you're missing is the cost to ship, because the entire motherboard is heavy. Motherboards weigh, over 2 pounds, and if you're getting, $1.50 per pound to $2.50 per pound, and you still have to ship the thing and pay for the shipping, because most refining companies want you to pay to ship it. I know Board Sort does. You're going to lose some money there. Whereas if you take the time to pull off what's worth money on there, the IC chips, I think they were buying, the last time I saw anyways, they were buying just ICs for like $5 a pound. So you take a few minutes to chisel off those ICs, the BGA chips, keep them separate, and then just box the little pieces up separately. You've cut your weight down tremendously. What you're selling is worth more per pound, so you're going to end up making more money that way. I think I have some pins from 1960 circuit board, and I believe they are 10K solid gold. What would be the best way to refine them at home? Muriatic acid and bleach? No. Muriatic acid and bleach, that's really good for like very fine gold, like the foils from fingers, or very fine gold powder. But anything solid, it'll take a long time to dissolve it. So something like that. I mean, if they are solid 10 karat gold, which, I mean, sometimes it's brass under there. So if you like file it and you still see gold color, some people think it's solid gold, but it's not. Yeah, if it is, Aqua Regia would be the best way to go, but that's something that I haven't really worked with yet, so I can't really help you too much on that yet. But Geo can. Ceiling fans and fan. Yep. Copper in them things a lot of times. Oh, Geos. There's no karat gold used in electronics? Not quite sure what that means. Anybody here use a vegetable peeler? I do. I made chicken stew last week when I first started getting sick, so I peeled the carrots and the potatoes. Vegetable peeler.
Hey, making people laugh.
Yeah.
You've had a solid following so far in the hour and a half we've been streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Got 44 people watching right now.
Well, hey, making people laugh.
Oh, wow. Did you see what loading ... said?
I have to split over 100 compressors. Have you found an easy way to open it? Some I got are over 200 pounds. An easy way to open them? No. The only way that I know of is to use the angle grinder. But, I mean, fortunately, if it's a 200-pound compressor, there's probably going to be a nice chunk of copper in there that'll make it worth it. But, the little ones, unless you got a bulldozer you can run over with a few times.
Big Keg asks why some copper turns black, not burnt, but black.
I don't know.
I've experienced that too, Big Keg. I don't know if it's braided wire that you're talking about or actual solid wire, But I've seen braided wire do it, and it could be a byproduct of it, like aging outside or being in the hot sun for a great deal of time. And the plastic may have like a light coating on it when you strip it. I really don't know. I'm speculating, but I've seen it too.
Oh, there we go. Copper oxide is black. There you go.
Good to know.
Thanks, Moose and Gio. I was curious because the pins passed the 10K stretch test with acid, but I suppose they could be another alloy. Yeah. Would an old hot plate be good for melting the majority of the solder on a motherboard? Oh, so you don't have to chisel them off. I don't know. I mean, the melting point of solder is like what, 400 something degrees? Between 400 and 600 degrees. I don't really fully remember, but they sell heat guns, which are really quick and easy. You just point it towards the back side of the board where you see all like the little prongs coming out. So if you have like your motherboard in a vise and you're hitting the back of it with the heat gun, and then you have like a scraper or something on the other side, it should come off fairly easy. But yeah, I don't know about a hot plate. You can try it. Let us know what happens. I just don't know if it'll get hot enough. Sorry, that was my ex-wife. Apparently my daughter just got home from a date. Awesome.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, late, by the way. She was supposed to be home at 8. All right.
I wouldn't want to be her.
Only got a week's back. Yeah, I agree with population parallax. I mean, it is a lot quicker.
Greetings from Portugal.
Wow. Hi, Portugal. Sorry, I'm not going to try pronouncing your name. I'm probably going to butcher it. But hi.
Housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Housekeeping fluff pillow. Housekeeping towel.
For the love of God. I love that movie.
This is cool. I can just sit back and do nothing, and they're like answering their own questions with everyone over there. It's awesome.
It is pretty cool. I've learned quite a bit tonight just in the short time being in this chat, hanging out.
Uh-huh. And that ain't no lie.
No. Clever.
You got that. Lincoln DMZ, your turn down service is waiting. Yeah, I wish. Just a couple will tell you what it is. So did anyone else wave at your computer when Moose waved hello? I don't know. Hi.
All right.
Does it make a difference to the price you get for being black?
I'm
I'm pretty sure that's
might get
So-
the. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Moose. You first.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure the scrapyards aren't racist. So
Ba-dum-bum. I don't know. There might be a little bit of reluctance to take it because they might suspect that it might be burnt. But other than that, Making People Laugh says, great show, guys. I hope this may be a regular feature.
well, if this is, I mean, I'm doing this for you guys, so if you want to see, this happen on a regular basis, I'm fine with that. We can, set up like the last Saturday of every month or something. Well, no, maybe not the last Saturday because then we're running into like the holidays and stuff. But once a month or something.
I think that'd be really cool. What do you guys think?
Go back.
Oh, someone hit the mute button. Yeah.
She gets excited.
Sorry about the commotion in the background. My daughter just came home with a friend, so
Well, yours too, huh?
yeah,
How old's yours?
14.
Oh, wow.
She thinks she's 21.
Right.
So, guys, just so you're aware, we're probably going to wrap this up at 9 p.m. tonight. So we just wanted to kind of give you a last call for questions. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask the Moose Scrapper or myself, please feel free to do so by putting question marks at the end. AKA question.
Making people laugh? Enjoy these years now. You think it's bad now? Wait.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm not that much, further ahead of you making people laugh, but trust me, those 2 years make a huge difference. Well, thank you for being here, making people laugh. We really appreciate that.
Bear Chef, what do you do with your laser eyes from CD DVD players? I put them aside, and when I have a pound of them, I sell them as is. That's like my goal for each thing. A pound. Once I have a pound of gold-plated pins. Once I have a pound of those laser heads. Once I have a pound of hard drive reader heads.
Jackpot Digger. He loves the collab video that me, you, and Tommy Trailers did when we were burning the IC chips. You see what he wrote?
Yeah, those chips are on fire.
Yeah, when I just scream out, "Those chips are on fire!" And he just started laughing. He said, "Funny as I'll get him." But Big Keg wants to know when your next video is, Moose.
It's gonna be. I'm really gonna push to make sure that it's at least once a week. So there's this video. Then probably next Friday will be, the video from the one that everyone voted on, or people who did voted on, and we'll go from there. So at least one a week, probably on Friday.
So Ashish Nick asks, can you make a video about 10 p.m. gold extraction from iron or using microwave blast furnace? I like your tips and tricks. It's so informative. Thanks, dear.
Ooh, yeah, probably not, because I really don't know anything about that. I don't have a microwave blast furnace, and 10 parts per million gold extraction from iron. Yeah, that's above my pay grade right there. Sorry.
Rivendell Coins, better late than never, buddy. We appreciate you being here, even if it's just for a minute or two.
Well, keep in mind, Rivendell Coins, that once this is done, it gets posted to YouTube as a video, so it's going to be there forever. So you can always come back and watch the beginning. Bear Chef, what do you get for your pound of laser eyes? Honestly, it's been a good at least 2 years since I've sold them, so I really couldn't tell you. Thoughts on using copperas for gold drops? Sorry for the spelling. That's fine. I don't know much about it. I know that I believe it's supposed to be more effective than SMB, but SMB for me is very cheap, readily available, and fairly non-toxic. So I try and grab that. Maine is one of the things that Maine's kind of started to become more known for, is we have a lot of breweries, a lot of independent companies making their own microbrews and other types of brews. So there's a lot of brewing supply stores, and that's where I get the SMB from. And it's dirt cheap. All right. So Ward for LH Wilson. I'm out, guys. Thanks for the live chat. Thanks for the tip on the cadmium and the silver. Looking forward to the next one. No problem. Thanks, man. Copperus works great. Yep. That's according to Geo, which if he says it, I believe it. Redden Economics. Hello. Population Parallax. Great job, guys. I'll be here for the next one. Cheers from South Carolina. Nice and warm down there, huh? Yeah.
A little jealous.
I'll off to work. Thanks, guys. All right. See you later, SMGM. Thanks for checking in all the way from Japan.
Yes.
Beer Chef. Three Tips does a good job explaining that. Yeah, he does. I really like Three Tips channel. Indeed, it does as well. Has some good videos. See, these are the guys who are they'll probably never admit it, but they're the ones that I would call pros. Simply because they have so much experience, and they've put in the time to research and learn all this stuff. A lot of people just want to get to it quick, and within a day, grab some scrap and have some gold at the end of the day. Well, you can't really do that. You gotta, give the process the respect it deserves, and learn about.
That's not me this time.
No, it's my daughter trying to explain why she was late and why my ex-wife is mad at her because, she's with her mother right now. So her date went a little too long. All right. I'll be on a brew chat after this. One of them is from Maine. I don't doubt it. We've got a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
Bear Chef, now following Geo. Good. All of you guys on here on this chat, all right, you do yourself a favor and go subscribe to Geo's channel and hit that bell. Because when he puts something out, I mean, no pun intended, it's gold. Trick-or-treaters, LOL. On the doorbell. Yeah, no, not yet. Not for another few nights. But it's supposed to be raining here on Halloween, so we'll see.
See, I live on a dirt road, and we don't get really that many trick-or-treaters, if at all.
Science is beautiful. It is indeed.
Yes.
Science. I always did well in science classes in high school and college. There's just something about it. You get to eat the candy.
That is very true. That is very true.
Have you recycled a vape pen? Loading ... Again, funny you should mention that. I was entertaining some friends the other day, and that's actually going to be a video that I'm going to put out, scrapping a pen cartridge. All right. As ridiculous as this was, this was, like last month maybe. We were sitting around the fire outside, and this guy had a thing called a Juul, which is like a tobacco vape pen. and the pod was empty. So he pulled it off and he went to go throw it away. And I said, well, hey, let me take a look at that. Well, sure enough, there's gold plating all over the bottom of it. So I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be like another one of those, where to find strange places to find gold, part 12.
Well, thank you, Steve and Joanna Crenshaw. We appreciate that very much.
Some of my friends look like jack-o'-lanterns. Wow.
It's an interesting statement.
Yeah, I can see that.
This is the official mascot of Gil Skills.
Oh, look at the puppy.
You good girl. You a good girl. Uh-huh.
What's MGTOW?
MGTOW. It's a good question.
There's like a delay, so sometimes I can't tell what they're responding to. Men going their own way. Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that website. Someone recommended that before. Oh my word, that was a long time ago that I looked at that.
Give me one moment, guys. I just found a tick on my dog. Come here. Yeah.
That's a festive look.
It's hard to see these puppies on huskies because they get that double coat, Right. You're going to have to hold still for a few seconds here. Stop laughing at me.
Not laughing at you. We're laughing at the situation.
Uh-huh.
You sound like you're really ticked off right now.
Oh, that was just terrible.
Yes, I like to be cool.
Oh, I got you, you little turd.
All I saw was hair. Jeez. How much of the dog left?
Can you see it? Yeah, that was in you.
So you see all this? You see all this? They're laughing at you, or with you, or both.
I'll take it. Why not?
Give you $1 if you swallow the tick. No, never mind. Ew.
No, I wouldn't do that in a billion years.
I wonder if it tastes like lime. Sorry.
Oh, that's a mean-looking tick, too. Jeez. Anyway. Do you guys have any last questions for us? 2 minutes to 9, guys.
Yep, gonna wrap it up.
Hey, Gil, I see some guys blow them with air instead of breath. Yes, I saw somebody sent me a link for that. There's a YouTube video on that. I wouldn't mind doing it. It's like an industrial size blower, and you just blow the hair right out of the huskies. They love it apparently too. Feels good for them.
Well, does that do something for the ticks or just the?
No. He's Raphael Scrapper's talking about the shedding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, gents, like a beer, I
You
need
have
to
later. So
What's
what was
Jinx.
that?
I was just reading what Bear Chef said. Like, well, gents, I like a beer. I need to go, or like a beer, I need to go find some woods later.
Nice. Yeah, we used to have a golden retriever, and her favorite thing was when I would take the shop vac and like just run the tube along her back and just like suck up fur. It was very cooling. She'd just sit there.
Yeah, she's all pouty over here. Saying, you messed with me.
Have you built a squirrel launcher? Not yet. And I don't know if Geo is still in here. If he is, sorry, Geo. I know you have an affinity towards squirrels. He's got a video where he actually like brought one in as an office pet. But they've destroyed my garden many times, so I'm not a fan of the little gray rats. But I've not built a squirrel launcher yet, no.
Forgive my ignorance, but what is a squirrel launcher?
It's basically a catapult. It's a device where
Oh, good Lord.
it sits primed like this, and when the squirrel comes on it, the weight triggers it and launches it 30, 40 feet. There's videos, and just do a YouTube search.
I will.
Catapult or squirrel launcher. Hilarious. All right. Well, Lincoln DMZ, good night from Urbana, Illinois. Good night.
All right, hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by. New Scrappers' first live stream. There's going to be more. Stay tuned for those notifications.
Ashish Naik, gold leaching with amino acid and how to recover. Please tell me about recovery. I don't know much about that. Gold leaching. The only leaching method that I know is like a nitric acid and salt leaching, which is used primarily for like gold ore. When you have like gold bearing sands or sulfides that have gold in it. But I've only read about it. I've never done it. I couldn't really instruct you on it. Let's see. Radio things. Poor squirrels. Good night from United Kingdom. Yeah, good night all. Good night. See you later, Gio. Thanks for joining us. I'm actually very honored that Gio showed up for this and stayed for the whole thing, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Pretty cool. It was nice to meet you all too. Met a lot of nice people today.
Yep. All right. So hopefully we'll do this again in a month, and I'll let you guys know when and where. So
have a scrap happy day.
That's right. See you on the next one.